Real rivalry, Imaad, welcome back. Welcome back. So, yesterday must have been a very, very difficult day for you. I've got to say, man. Like, I really did not expect Arsenal not to go through against Villarreal. I really thought it's going to be like an All English Champions League final and then an All English Europa League final. And like, especially after like watching City celebrate, like, I was so heartbreaking watching Chelsea celebrate, pretty much knowing United are through. Surely Arsenal had like more than enough motivation to come and just score a fucking goal, at least show some proper intent. But it didn't look like your team or your manager were up for it.
Oh yeah, the only English team that I actually wanted to go through to a European Cup final has fucking let me down. And why am I surprised, man? Why am I even surprised? Um, don't even know where to begin because I'm just so upset after that, man. I mean, honestly, the fact that there's three other English teams in the finals, that shouldn't be any added incentive for Arsenal at all. I mean, three English teams which have had way better seasons than us, like Chelsea, fucking still have an FA Cup final.
Right,
They can still get in the top four. United guaranteed top four. I don't even want to talk about City. So why? I
right.
mean, we have our season's dead. Like we should like even if there were three other teams, one team from Spain, any other parts of Europe, no English teams. I don't give a fuck, man. You need to have the motivation to win this game. Like your whole
Right.
season rides on this game, and Arteta just got it horribly wrong again, man. I mean, there wasn't too much wrong with the starting 11, but like there was enough wrong to fucking throw everything off.
Where's
Like, I mean,
Martinelli, man? First questions first. Like,
let's just
where the
start with
fuck
the
is
back,
Martinelli?
man. Let's start with the back, like with the back four, like we did last week. I mean, where's Bellerin come from? I mean, where the fuck
Right.
has Hector Bellerin come from? Like we were discussing this last week about Arteta not knowing even one of his favorite centre backs. Like he doesn't know his favorite right back, man. I mean, what is going on? Like he got in like Cedric, and then like Cedric was getting a run of games for like 3-4 games. Last four
Hmm.
five games Chambers has been playing.
Now
Uh,
randomly Bellerin's through.
he threw in Bellerin against Newcastle, which was a complete makeshift team. I mean,
Hmm.
he like it was a makeshift team. It wasn't the team that he was going to play in this game.
Right.
Bellerin had a good game, and he had a decent game, and like that's his first game in the last 5 or 6 games, and he comes in to start like our biggest game of the season. Another fucking
Right.
experiment. Like, what is the actual thinking behind this? I mean, like, is it just like I'm going to play Bellerin for 4 games, Chambers for 4 games, and Cedric for 4 games? I mean,
There's no
there's no
thought
actual plan.
process.
There's no thought
Inexperienced
process
coach.
to what this guy wants to do. I mean,
He's
like this guy's just trying
inexperienced.
new things. He's making it up as he goes along. He just
Goes
trying new
exactly.
things on the spot. And then I mean, like the centre back pairing. I mean, uh, honestly, like I feel like David Luiz and Gabriel probably would have started, but then David Luiz got picked up a knock against Newcastle.
Hmm.
Uh, in the Prem. So and then like apparently there's this whole thing that Holding and Gabriel can't play together. So
Why is
Holding
that the
Gabriel's
case?
playing, I mean, honestly, like even I've seen with my own eyes, like when Gabriel's alongside David Luiz, he's way more composed. He's not diving in. He's not like rushing into
Hmm.
tackles. He's holding his line. He's way more composed when he has David Luiz. It might be a communication thing. They both speak Portuguese. I mean, they're
What
both
about
like I
Murray
mean,
and Gabriel though? Why does Holding have to
well,
play
I mean, the thing with what Arteta says is he can't play two left-footed
left-footed center
centre backs
backs?
and
Right.
which is fair. I mean, but then it's just ridiculous, man. I mean, Mari is nowhere near as mobile. So, I mean, in a game like this, when you know that Villarreal are gonna pose a threat on the counter, you're gonna need to go for it. You need someone who's like has more about them. And honestly, like the slow play and everything started from the back four. Like they just do not bring the ball forward quickly enough. Leno
Hmm.
dilly-dallying on it for like what are you guys waiting for? It's a fucking semi-final, man. You guys need to
Right. You
score a
need to
goal.
score a
And
goal,
you so I mean, yeah, let's just like so then I mean Xhaka had to like he was in the starting 11 and then he dropped out and Xhaka was
hmm.
still going to be at left back, which is again
Which doesn't make
shocking from
sense. That
Arteta.
wouldn't help.
Makes
Yeah, that
no
wouldn't help.
sense. So Tierney had to come in at left back,
Hmm.
and then he played, and then it was like Thomas Partey. I mean, had an absolute nightmare. I mean, he has to play
Hmm.
him, but Partey's been having fucking Partey. I mean, when he has a bad game, I think we discussed this earlier. He's literally the worst player on the pitch. Like he cannot
Hmm.
put one pass right when he's
What
having
do
a
you think
bad game.
happened to him? He's such a top player. He was a quality player at Madrid. He's
Un-
had some good performances at Arsenal as well, but like
Yeah,
his form's
one
dipped.
year, one season at Arsenal, and Arteta's converted the guy who was supposed to be the next Vieira for us into a fucking Emmanuel Frimpong, man. I mean, it's just ridiculous,
Right.
bro. Like this guy was,
Just
I
confidence
mean,
is shot.
he was like the pivot in Villarreal's midfield, in Atletico Madrid's midfield last
Mm-hmm.
year, man. Like he bossed Liverpool at Anfield last year when they went
Mm-hmm.
there, and that was like the Liverpool of last year. And this guy's had, I mean, we've seen glimpses of it when we won at Old Trafford. He was immense,
Yeah, he
but
was
I mean,
excellent.
it's just, I mean, honestly, the way he's been used, we rushed him back from an injury. Fucking Thomas Partey's had more injuries in his Arsenal at his time at Arsenal that he has in his entire fucking career. That shows you what
Right.
we've done to this player, man. Like we've fucked him up, like physically, man. Like we've rushed him back from injury, like to
Mm.
play in the North London derby, like uh, I think way back, like 4, 5, 6 months ago. We rushed him back in that game, and then he
Right,
got
and
injured
he got
again.
injured again, I
And it's
remember.
just like, I mean, you're not. This is not how you use players, man. Like you
Right.
fucking rushing him back because there's such a lack of quality in other areas. I mean, I can't blame Arteta. Obviously, Thomas Partey has to
So,
start. But then what he did, apart from that, was inexplicable, man. It was a 4-1-4-1 again, a system he's never ever tried before.
right, right.
Odegaard and Emil Smith Rowe were playing. We essentially had like two players in front of Partey, one holding midfielder, one midfielder. We got completely overran by Coquelin
Right.
and Parejo in the midfield. I mean, there was like because Smith Rowe and Odegaard, their press was so half-hearted. Like, I mean, there was one pass, you turn Partey, and then you're onto the fucking back four. I
Back
mean,
four,
like
right.
sometimes and Tierney's anyway bombing forward, so it's a back three in those situations. So
He got his tactics wrong there. That's what I was going to ask you. So essentially,
yeah,
see, Smith Rowe and Odegaard are more of number tens. Yeah. So he played essentially two more
played
attack
both of
mind.
them,
Played both of them. So he played two more
and he's
attack
playing two
minded midfielders.
wingers
Right. Right.
and
So
two
he.
wingers on top of two number tens. And when you're playing an array of these many attacking players, he still somehow manages to find a way to leave out our fucking man of the match from Sunday. From
Hmm,
who was Martinelli.
right.
Bellerin comes in because he had a fucking half decent game. Where's Martinelli? I mean, he
Right.
was the
Right.
man of the match in that game. He's the
He's
one
the
player you
most
want
direct
from the start
player.
of the game.
Right.
Exactly, and this is what you need in a game like this when your team has no intensity from the back moving the ball forward. I mean,
Hmm.
there's clearly a disconnect between the midfield. I mean, because Partey is playing there alone. Um,
Hmm.
it's just, I mean, he should have gone with the 4-2-3-1, the same system that's
Exactly.
worked for us more often than not. Play one number 10, pick one between Odegaard and Smith Rowe. I mean, I
Smith
would have
Rowe,
said
yeah.
none of them. Odegaard was shocking last night, but
Hmm.
Smith
He's
Rowe
out of
was
position
slightly better.
also. He's kind of
He's
playing out
also
of
just
position.
come back. He's also just come back from an injury, man. So
Right.
it was a no-brainer. I mean, he should have played Smith Rowe. I mean, Saka should have slotted in at left back.
Hmm.
Xhaka should have come into the middle,
In
given
midfield,
Partey that support.
exactly.
We need that
Exactly.
control in midfield. The fact that he can't see that we're missing Xhaka in the midfield, and we need to fucking impose that in this game. I mean, it worked out for him in the end because Xhaka got injured. But the fact is, he was going to start him at left back,
Right.
and so
Even
team selection
play
again.
wrong, completely wrong. Even play, even if Xhaka is injured, still play a two-man midfield of someone like Partey and El Neni. Even just put someone in there. Don't have
Yeah,
one
I mean, you just
defensive
change the system
midfielder.
completely, and you expect Smith Rowe or Odegaard to just drop back and play that role
Right.
with Partey.
It's
It's
not
not
gonna
going to
work.
happen. They've never played that role before in their lives. How the fuck are they going to
Right.
do it right now? And
No,
I mean,
no sense.
it was just, and in terms of the actual drilling, the way he drilled the players, the tactics, shocking, man. Like no press at all. Villarreal, their press was on point, man. Like Leno got the
Hmm.
ball. There were no options for Leno. Our press, like they were literally playing the ball out back and forth from their keeper to their right back to their left back.
Hmm.
I mean, it was just pass after pass after pass, one player pressing. We didn't know
Hmm.
when to press. We didn't know when to stick.
When to retreat,
And
yeah.
it was just easy for them, man. I mean, there was just like absolutely no game plan from Arteta.
Hmm.
I don't know what he told his players. He hadn't motivated them, obviously. I mean, I don't know. I don't see how they need motivation. It's obvious they're not playing for him right now because,
Right.
I mean, even if like, I mean, we're not winning any second balls, we're not winning any duels. I mean, we
Hmm.
had we were 2-0 down in the first half of the first leg. We had three halves of football to score a goal, and managed
Hmm.
one goal from a
Which
penalty,
was
not even from open play,
potentially wasn't even a penalty.
which wasn't even a penalty. We couldn't
Right.
score a goal from open play. I mean,
Against Villarreal.
ICU's had one bad first half. I mean, we were trailing for three halves. We had three halves. If I guarantee, even if we had six more halves of football to play, six more
Hmm.
games, I don't care how many more 90 minutes of football we had to play, we were not scoring against Villarreal
Right.
because we just don't have that. And it's just so sad to see, man. This is like the lowest of lows. I mean, I don't think it's ever been this bad. Arteta, like,
It's
surely he
shambles,
has to
bro.
fucking go now.
Dude, let's not forget the changes also. My God, like what are you smoking, Arteta? Because I did watch the last 30 minutes of that game, and Jesus, I couldn't. So Aubameyang looked like your most likely scorer, right? In the first half, he had that class volley that he hit, right, and that hit the
And
post that
that
was
brilliant header
unlucky,
at the
and
end.
then that brilliant, and then he takes him off. Like what
Seconds
the
after
fuck
that,
are
yeah,
you
it
doing,
makes no sense.
man?
Makes no sense.
What are
The
you
guy,
doing?
the guy, the guy, the one fucking player who is the reason you're in a position of any kind of fucking
Because
stability
of
right
last
now with
season,
some kind
yeah.
of fans is because of last season's FA Cup. Because of your last season's escapades in the FA Cup, and who the fuck won you that trophy single-handedly?
It was
Aubameyang, and you're gonna
Aubameyang.
fucking take off the guy who won you that trophy, who's literally given you like the only positive thing that you have on your CV as a coach. Everything else, like you've broken all the wrong records for all the wrong reasons.
Reasons, right?
The only thing that you have in your hands is Oba, like the guy who, and he looked like he was on it. I mean, he wasn't getting any service. He was having like, I mean, he was having a dead game, but like
Mm,
you knew he looked like he was hungry for a goal yesterday, man. Like he
right.
was that was a fucking brilliant header. Um, and he just needs one chance, and like
It could have
Lacazette. I mean,
happened in
even
the
like
end,
you're,
yeah.
and
He could have
exactly,
scored in
man,
the end. You know, a half chance,
and
a goal
Martinelli
scorer.
also, like you're bringing on Martinelli with like when Odegaard's clearly off the pace. You're bringing on Martinelli like so late. I would have made the change at halftime.
Exactly.
Um, he's
Exactly.
bringing on Nketiah in like stoppage time, and
What
Nketiah
you're
fucking comes
wasting
on,
time making that change. A
he gives
foul
away
gets a
two
yellow
fouls.
card, yeah.
Eats 3 minutes. I mean, the referee was a complete fucking wanker, but I mean, there's no reason to get onto that. He was a dick.
Yeah,
I
it's
mean, he
not
was
even
literally,
relevant.
but like it's just irrelevant, man, right now. Because honestly, bro, like I checked out, like I was watching David Ornstein as well today.
Hmm.
He said that the Arsenal board are not going to consider this a crisis unless they see Arsenal out of Europe for 2, 3, 4 seasons consecutively.
Oh
In
my
other words,
God.
they have no intention of firing Arteta. They're going to give him another some. They're going to give him another transfer window, and that's why I feel like they're the bigger part of the problem right now. They need to fucking go. They're accepting the mediocrity.
You're
Arteta's
right.
accepting the mediocrity from the players, and we just need change from top to bottom, man.
No,
Like
right,
no
100%.
European football.
The protests, right, they're
First,
directed towards the right person, right? You gotta talk about the owner here. At least at United, our standards have dropped. But listen, at least with Woodward, we had one thing that was for sure. If you didn't finish in the top four, you were sacked. If you weren't in the Champions League, you were sacked. It's been pretty straightforward. Every manager
no other
that's
top club would have this. No
nobody
other
would
top
have
club
it.
would have this.
So
And
what
just
are the
look at the
owners
way our
doing?
fucking and our owners are fucking embarrassing, man. They've been embarrassed. The man that you sacked a year and a half ago, 2 years
Right.
ago, who you thought wasn't good enough for you. You
Comfortably
hired this
gone
fucking
through.
novice with no experience. You hired this man who
Hmm.
you thought would take you to that level, would make you
Right.
that one step better. And you've been fucking embarrassed by the man you fired tonight. So honestly, man, like hats off to Emery, because Arsenal fans, like we gave him a hard time, like we wanted him out,
Hmm.
and like the squad of players that
Comfortably.
Arteta has, the squad of
There's no
player like
comparison,
squad
yeah.
of, is way better than what Emery had to work with. And honestly, man, with Emery and this squad of players, I think we'd be doing bits. I mean, Emery's. I mean, he personally, he's not my cup of tea in terms of the way he manages his teams and the way he sets his teams up. Um,
Right.
but
He's more
you have to give him
pragmatic.
credit, and like, and his CV is what's fucking giving him the benefit of the doubt. He's managed PSG. He's had this insane run in the Europa League. He's still unbeaten in knockout games in the Europa League.
Right. Right.
So I mean, like, it's just a slap in our face, man. It's just a huge slap in our face, and it's embarrassing. And Arteta like needs to just take a big look at himself, man, because
He needs to
he's
go, dude.
literally just his decisions have.
He needs to go, and I don't know how you come back from this. Do you think the players believe in him? Like, did you see Aubameyang's face when he was taken off and he was sitting on the bench? Must have been thinking to himself, "What is this guy doing? Like, what is he doing?" So I really don't. I don't get how he turns this around. I don't think the players believe in him, and I think the only way he's going is when the fans are back in the ground and everyone's singing Arteta out. That's how he's gonna go, because that's the only thing your board listens to. That's how Emery left. I'm sure, like they didn't have the brains to understand. Neither even
They didn't, man. They don't. I mean, honestly, like they don't. They're not proactive. Like I said, they're okay to fucking waste another year and a half of this club's existence. Just waste
Hmm.
our existence for another fucking year or two. Let Arteta find his feet. I mean, it's just the cheaper option, right? I mean, they
Hmm.
don't think long term. This is a fucking team that have been bullied by Özil because of the whole
Hmm.
contract situation. Let players go for fucking close to nothing, free. Our
Hmm.
best players always letting them run out at the end of their contracts. We
Hmm.
don't know how to, they don't know how to handle the situation.
They have no idea.
They'll probably give Arteta a little more money to spend, and then sack him after that when Arteta's got all the players he wants, and the new manager will realize that I don't want these players, and then again
Hmm.
we're in a fucking financial crisis because we've
Hmm.
invested in players we don't need. We're stuck with a load of crap. We haven't offloaded these players. I mean, it's just a never-ending cycle, man. I mean, it's we just don't have the ambition to act as a big club, and
Right.
it's like it doesn't need to be any more obvious to see that he's not the right man to take this
Man,
club
right.
back to where it needs to be.
Based on what are
How can
you
you
giving
trust
him
him? How
time?
can you trust him with more money? How can you trust him with more money in the summer window? It just makes no fucking sense to me, man. Like, and but honestly, like I'm fucking happy because the Cronkies have been denied another fucking massive payday from like because we're not going to get European football next season
Yeah.
with all these stipulations that we still might. Like, I mean, we're not winning all our games.
It's not happening.
I
There's
don't
no
see
way.
how it's we're not yeah. So I'm from that perspective, I'm fucking happy. Like Cronky's sitting in his fucking ranch in America. Let him fucking be deprived of that money. It's probably not going to affect him, but it's a start,
Hmm.
man. Like hopefully he'll now see that like Arsenal maybe isn't going to be the cash cow it was for him a few years ago, and he might fucking sell because we need Daniel Ek to come in and buy, man, and we need
It's
once Ek
anybody
comes in,
else.
I think then
Anybody
he'll
else.
have the ambition maybe to fucking get rid of Arteta,
And
and
like put some money into the club and get you guys back to at least where
yeah,
you were. I mean, yeah,
but
it's especially with someone like Arteta, like there's no CV to back. Like there's no what reason do you have to give him more time? Is the football any
yeah,
better?
he's
Football's
got no
dire.
fucking. I mean, I
Everything is
said when he
terrible.
came in, man, I said when he came in, I don't fucking want the guy who lays out the fucking cones for Pep every morning. And
Hmm.
people were like, oh, give him a chance, give him a chance, give him a chance.
Hmm.
I knew from the beginning he wasn't the right man for the job. I mean, you don't fucking hire a novice. No, even fucking teams
You
in
don't.
relegation battles don't do that. Teams in the championship don't do that. I mean, it's just unheard of. And obviously, Arsenal's the club to do it. I mean, we're fucking top six massive club. We're going to give this guy with like who's got zero
Who's never
fucking
managed
managerial
before?
experience a job. Yeah, I mean, it just makes no sense. Which fucking assistant manager of Fergie's have you fucking seen made it like make it big? I mean, have any
Right.
of his assistant managers made it
No,
big? No.
it's not that easy. It's
And
not that easy, especially in a big club, man. It's
Arteta
very
out,
tough.
man.
Yeah, hundred
I mean,
percent
now I think
needs to go.
we're starting to see now the pressures of being like an Arsenal manager, man. Like the fans want success. Like it's not a small club, man. Like it might people who just start watching football a few years ago may think it's a small club, but there's standards at this club, man, that have been set for years, and you know,
Right,
like
and
since we got into it, what those standards are, and
and
this is just
even if
unacceptable, man.
standards fall, like I think the standards have significantly fallen at both United and Arsenal, like even from what fans expect perspective. But this is too bad. No fans ever gonna expect 10th and no trophies. No fan is gonna accept that. Like this is just too bad. It's unbelievable, honestly. It's
Shocking.
on how he's
And
still at a
honestly,
job.
with just want to finish on fucking slating Hector Bellerin, man. Like if he's still here next season,
Right. I'm
because that
sure he
guy
will
is not
be.
a fucking footballer, man. Like every time he got the ball, and like the only thing he knows how to do is cut back and play to the first guy you see. I
Right. He
mean,
just
it's
can't put
literally like
crosses in.
the guy is just not a footballer. Please fuck off. Go save the environment. Go start a fucking fashion label. I don't care. Just do not fucking. He's sucking 170 grand a week out of the club, man. Like it just
Can't
like
believe he's
the
paid
fact that we're
170.
fucking literally he's a
Oh my
fucking
god.
scumbag, and I want him gone with the rest of them, man. And sorry, one last thing, like just to end it on this, like I mean, Aubameyang was like I have nothing bad to say about his performance from last night, but like just on like the post match interview, like Arsenal, like our players are just such fucking pussies, man. Like when we win and Aubameyang scores, he's the first one to come out and do the interview in front of the cameras. But as our fucking club captain, when we lose, like have the courage to come out and face the
He's
fans,
not
man.
captain material though,
He's not
right?
captain
That's
material,
he's
and
just
like
not a
you know what we
captain.
did? They sent out Leno, the one man who couldn't be at fault for anything. He actually kept us in the tie. They sent out burnt Leno for the interview because they knew
Right.
every other player was at fault. That shows you the fucking how spineless and what fucking pussies our
What's
players
going
are.
on? Yeah, and what's going on in the team for sure. Yeah, it's just a mess.
And
It's just
fucking
a mess.
Arteta as a manager, man, you send your captain out as a manager, but he couldn't even do that.
Right, right, 100%, 100%.
So
Absolute
fuck off,
disgrace.
Arteta. I'm so done with you, man. ruined another
Well,
year of mine.
I hope he stays for a few more months. I'd love to see this continue. But yeah, let's see, man, what happens. I'm glad we're in the final, and I hope we can do something against Unai Emery, man. He's dangerous in the Europa League for sure. But we have a far better team, so
You
hoping
guys
for a
will should.
win.
If you guys don't beat them, I'll be shocked. I mean, I'm obviously all out supporting Unai, but I mean, it's just you guys are gonna slap them up, and it's just gonna make Arsenal look even worse.
I hope that's true, man. I hope that's true. All right, man. We'll touch base again. Have a good one.
All right, peace.
Peace.